This is the Chief and Shawn show, and we are live in the 405.
We're not live, but we are back.
We're live.
No, we're not. We are back.
And we're live.
Weekly, not live.
We're sort of live.
Okay, to everyone listening, or,
the people who are listening.
the few that listen, here's the deal. Speed Society is going to be hosting all of these podcasts. You're going to be seeing a ton from these guys. How big are they, Shawn?
It's the biggest automotive website in the world, and, they got a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, we're stoked to be working with guys like that for sure. Anytime we can align ourselves with other huge automotive people, this is perfect. So,
also, stop listening now and go and like it and comment on it, and the sooner you do that, hopefully, the more podcast episodes you'll hear.
yeah, the Crow 405, Murder Nova, Midwest Streetcars. Like it, comment on us, tell us who you are, tell us why you listen to it. Keep this going, please. There are people that don't want this to keep going.
Yeah, there's people right now trying to put an end to this. They don't want us on the air.
And we got guys like Speed Society that want to help us keep it going. So
welcoming us.
Let's do it. Rock and roll. Help everybody out.
And while you're there, check it out. Their website's awesome.
And it's Tuesday.
Another Tuesday.
And already.
And we're working hard at it.
Yeah. We did a little research.
In the mess shack. Putting on the podcast for the tens of listeners. Are we at tens anymore?
Man,
I don't even know.
I'm
We
pretty
go
sure
up and
that
down.
We don't have that many left anymore because we had skipped maybe one Tuesday is all. And you know how that goes.
Yeah, we skipped one Tuesday and we lose all our listeners. I don't know.
Yeah, one Tuesday out of all the Tuesdays that we've done them, like clockwork.
I noticed that we lost some fans on Instagram. I was
Did
on.
we?
Yeah. Our wonderful producer Phantom posted a picture of something, or someone posted a picture in
believe I know
regards
what it
to
was.
Trump.
Yes.
And I got a bunch of messages on there saying, "Hey, you need to check this out. You're losing fans or whatever." And I was like, "I don't care. Like, I don't really care. I don't know what Phantom does. I don't care what he does. We pay him too much to do whatever he does anyway."
Yeah, on the Midwest media
yeah, it was
page?
one of our many Instagram pages, and
Whatever.
so I looked on there, and it was a picture of something about Trump or whatever, and I don't even know what's going on, but it's a big deal, I guess, this Trump thing in America.
I don't get it. You know, all it was it said murder. It had a Murder Nova hat, and it says Trump approved.
Well, a lot of people don't like this guy.
Well, a lot of people didn't like Obama, but like him or not, he's your president.
Yeah, so the Trump deal, there was some people that were frustrated and said, like, lost me as a fan or whatever, or looks like I'll be unfollowing. And then I noticed I was going to reply to them to try and fix the situation a little bit, because I kind of felt bad for a minute, for a split second.
Wow, you must have had nothing else going on.
Man, it's been this weather, dude.
You was just sitting at the house going, shit.
We
lost a couple of Instagram.
This fucking weather is just killing me. So anyway, I go up, but before I could reply, I noticed that our wonderful producer Phantom had already replied to these angry fans and just said,
"Well,
see ya,
bye."
Well, bye. And I said, "Well, there you go. Hey, covered."
Yeah, taken care of. Somebody already replied to him.
Yeah, no, he fixed it. He fixed it. So I didn't have to do anything.
Yep. It's always best that way.
Yeah, I got to go right back to.
It just works itself out.
Yeah, I got to go right back to doing nothing.
Yep. I still understand the people that are getting so upset about this deal.
I don't understand any of it because I don't pay attention. To me, like, it seems like this Trump deal is a big deal. But, to me, like, the biggest thing in my whole news feed or world is, like, racing related. Or I've been following the big stand that the Native Americans were taking in up there of the Dakota pipeline or whatever. That I feel like that should be a bigger concern than a Trump hat.
Yeah.
That's water. Those people are fighting for water. This Trump thing, I think he's just a puppet, right? Like the rest of them.
Yeah.
He's president puppet.
Remember how mad everybody was, about Obama being president, but I don't remember people rioting.
But the memes.
I think that they were at work.
The memes nowadays are the people that were mad about Obama were at work.
The people that are mad about Obama being president were working.
Yeah, you just don't
people that
have
are mad about
You just don't have that many vacation days where you can take off and go riot.
No,
I did see all the women's riots. All the women were throwing a fit about women's rights and stuff, and then they made all these notes because they're handy. Yeah, you know what I mean, they went to Hobby Lobby.
Yes,
and they got they went to the arts and crafts section. They got their post-it boards and their notes,
and they showed real talent.
They did. I mean, some of them were some of them were nice. Like some of them said, "I'm not your bitch," stuff like that. It was pretty creative.
Yeah, but
then they just left them all. The street for like a mile is littered with these notes, and it's like, hey, if you're gonna fight for women's rights, do what you're good at. Clean the place up. You know what I mean? Like like you just left the shit everywhere. like not only were you not in the kitchen making sandwiches, but now you're littering.
Or at work.
Yeah, now some trustee from the prison has to go out there and pick that shit up.
Yeah.
They got way better things to do.
Wasted talent is what it is.
It was a waste of talent. Yeah. They could have been making notes like "Welcome home, honey" to their husband and shit. You know what I mean? Like
some of the fucking memes that I saw were talking about 1 million people out protesting and 3 people missed work.
Yeah, dude. The one that I like is of Bill Clinton. Yeah, the recent one where he's checking out.
Yep.
And it says, like, I want my husband to look at me the way Bill Clinton looks at every woman that's not his wife.
Did you see his wife looking at him while he was looking at him?
She was looking at him like, what the fuck? And he's just over there,
he
damn. He's just, damn.
Hey, Bill Clinton's cool, though.
He's like, look at that ass. Yeah, he's old. He don't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't care. At this point, he's already done everything that he wanted to do, and she put up with it. So she ain't going to leave him now.
No, I mean, she wants women's rights, you know, whatever. Go clean the road.
Yeah.
Go out there.
Clean that road up that all them protesters.
Clean this place up a little bit. You know what I mean? If this place looks like everybody come home from work, it looks like shit.
Clean this place up. You start by sweeping the road.
I'm going to clean up this town.
Oh, good. You can start by sweeping the floor. I will be mayor.
So, in the boring winter, we have a problem. We buy things.
I mean, do you want a list?
Oh my God. We
both have issues, man.
In the wintertime, we get bored. So we have I'm not going to play it up as, I'm not going to piss everybody off here and say that we have PTSD. But what we do, it creates a weird feeling because in the summertime, you're 90 million miles an hour constantly. No sleep. Thrashing, working, overnight parts, going crazy.
Everything is planned out for you, too.
And every race is coming up every weekend. You're testing in the middle of the week. The producers are planning when and where you got to be. Your races are planning when and where you got to be here. You got to be here. You got to test here. You got to do this. It's just nonstop. The car breaks, you fix it. Car breaks, you fix it. You race it, you fix it. You race it, you fix it. It's just a nonstop deal, and you're filming all the time. So
and if you're like us, when you're done filming, you still go out and test.
So, but the weather sucks.
Yes.
So now we're in a situation where we had a couple weeks off there, right? The weather sucked, and we had this giant hole in our hearts.
Yeah.
And we've tried to fill it with shit. So I bought a few cars. You bought a few cars.
Yes.
Collectively, we bought the whole Craigslist.
Yes.
Of shit that we don't need.
And it's not like we're not still looking.
No.
I spend at least 30 to 45 minutes a night while I'm laying in bed just going over Craigslist.
Well, because there might be something coming up.
Yeah, and I'll drive.
Yeah.
I'll drive to Dallas to get it.
Well, that's why we got all these trucks and trailers and shit. You know what I mean? We got a whole fucking fleet of things that we can go pick up junk with.
Well, I knew that this was going to be the last weekend before we started filming, so I took my son down to, I don't know, some water park in Dallas, Of course, we took the dually with the trailer. You
never know what you're going to find in Dallas. You never know what
you're going to find down there.
Dallas is a big town.
And that trailer wasn't empty when we came home.
And for the most part, when we buy something, it's not going to run.
No, we wasn't going to drive it home.
Because we can look at it and go, man.
We can see. We have vision.
Yeah, we're artists.
Yes.
So I bought this GTO. I bought a 7D GTO and had a blowed up motor in it.
Yes.
The Canadian, Travis, our friend. He tells me about it. And now, when I crashed the original Crow, he hit me up about this car. He's like, look, man, I found this car. I bought this car. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it. I pretty much just bought it just because I figured you'd be interested in building another Crow out of it. And at that time, everything was doing the pro mod thing. So I wasn't
full-blown pro mod.
I was going to buy a car that I could kick all the pro mod guys' asses with, on the street. So that's what I did. Well,
then you made it to where it wasn't fun.
So now pro mods aren't fun on the street anymore. And so now everybody's now everybody's got it to where you can't race a pro mod on the street no more. And if you want to be in cash stage, you got to have a steel body car or whatever. So
fucking right.
Well, when I bought this, so then I decide I'm going to buy another steel car, right? And so, but I didn't want to buy a car that was like done. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to fall in love with the car, like I did my original car. I wanted to drive it around for a while, do some cool shit in it, make some memories, then make it a race car, and I would be in love with it just like my other car. It wouldn't be like the Pro Mod where I hate the fucking thing all the time. So I bought this 70 GTO. Motor was blowed up in it. Now, parked right in front of it was a 74 Grand Prix brown.
Fucking right.
It's a Grand Prix SJ.
Yes.
Now, this car had a hot little motor in it. Had a 400 Pontiac, had some nice shit done to it, ported heads and shit. I mean,
roller rockers, turns out.
As the brother at the gas station told me when I drove it for the first time, he said, that thing got a hall gas cam in it.
Yeah.
Because it loped like a Pro Mod.
Yes.
And he said, man, that's a bad motherfucker. That motherfucker got a hall gas cam in it. And so then when people would ask me what cam's that's a hog. It's a hall gas cam.
It's hall gas.
Yeah, he said, it's boarded way out.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, it's boarded all the way out.
You can't board it anymore.
No, you can't board this one out anymore. It's all the way boarded out.
Yep.
It has some P&P heads on it, ported and polished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had it was decked. It was hog.
Yep.
Hog gas.
I mean, that's the only way you can explain it.
The car was a pile. It was in good shape, but it was just a 74 Grand Prix that was shit brown.
Yeah.
And vinyl tops coming off of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fucking cool.
It was cool. So that car had a motor that ran. It was parked in front of the GTO. So me, thinking the way I think, hey, I can take the motor out of the Grand Prix, the SJ. I can put that motor in the GTO and then just trash the SJ, right?
Yeah, like everybody else does.
Right. So I bought both of them, trying to fill this giant hole with shit.
Yeah.
I figured a 74 Grand Prix would do a pretty good job of filling a hole.
Yeah, it'll fill a big hole.
Well, we picked the car up. It ran. It didn't have headlights that worked and shit, but you helped me with that. You wired up some headlights on it.
And my wiring is
it was
amazing.
exceptional. It was you basically stretched a wire from the battery to the headlights and then clamped it on with a pair of vice grips.
Hey, it got me home.
It did. It really did. Thanks to Juice for the piece of tape over the ground wire, just because we didn't want it to short out, he said. I said, man, it could use some more ground. Anyway, so Shawn drives the car home from the guy's house. We trailer the GTO. Shawn drives the Grand Prix home.
This is like a 45-minute drive.
Yes.
And we know absolutely nothing about this car.
Nothing.
Except the hall gas cam part.
It does have a hall gas cam.
And I two-footed it for at least the first couple blocks because
you never know.
I thought the bitch was going to die every time I let off. Hall gas cam. It's loping. It's got to be idling at like 400. So I'm two-footing it for the first mile or so. There's no lights.
Sketchy looking car too.
Yes.
I mean, sketchy.
I mean, black ass, need a flashlight to see me through the windows type,
This
gangster.
car.
It's a dirt car.
It's a dirt car.
Except it's probably a little bit too loud to be a dirt car.
It had lake pipes.
You ain't sneaking up on nobody.
It had the lake pipes out the side with single chamber Flowmasters, so it sounded like a hall gas can.
Yeah.
So Shawn drives it to the shop, and he's like, dude, that fucking car is cool. And I was like, what? And he's like, I'm not even joking you. That car, that's one of the coolest cars you've ever bought.
Yeah.
So I was like, weird. So I start driving it a little bit, and I'm like, dude, this car is cool.
It is.
It's really, really cool.
Well, and if you're like us and you just love cars, I mean, we grew up with cars. We grew up with shit cars like that. And they always ran good, looked like shit.
Right.
Interior falling apart,
it's what our parents had.
Yes.
Our parents had those kind of cars.
Yes. So it's shit that we like to drive. I mean, we have nice vehicles, but we still choose to drive.
Yeah, you got that white
stuff
minivan.
like that. Yeah.
What is that thing? It's a Trailblazer or something. It's a minivan.
It's something like a minivan.
It's like a panda van.
Yeah, it's a fucking man van.
It's a man van. It's got 400 horsepower,
That's
motherfucker.
Right. That's right. So, 2-3 miles down the road, this thing's got Texas tags on it that went out in, I don't know, 86, some shit. And 2 miles down the road, we pass a cop. and where we're at is it's almost country out there.
Yes.
So there's absolutely nothing. It's dark, and I see the headlights in front of me pull off the side of the road like he's fixing to whip a bitch.
I was
right
behind
there.
you.
Yeah.
And he pulled when he saw you, he pulled over.
He pulls off the side of the road like he's about to whip it around right then and there. And I go, oh, fuck, that's a cop. So, of course, there's damn sure no insurance. There's no tag. It looks sketchy as hell. Looks like we're about to make a drive-by. And this cop sees the car and says, fuck that, and drives on.
I watched him. He dumps off the side of the road. He's fixing to kick the e-brake, spin it around, Smokey and the Bandit style, and come after your sketchy ass. And then he thought about it, and he thought, I ain't about that.
No, I got a wife, probably got a couple kids, nice little family.
I don't want that kind of trouble.
And he was probably on his way home.
Yeah, so he decides not to go after him. We laughed about that. We were like, okay, that car is just too cool to tear it up. So we put together another Pontiac motor to put in the GTO, and we decided not to tear apart Steve Jobs. Well, because of
we named it Steve Jobs because it's a SJ.
We named the car Steve Jobs because it's a Grand Prix SJ. It says SJ right on the side of it.
Yeah.
And we nicknamed it Steve Jobs because it's classy.
It is.
It's a classy type cat.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's a moneymaker.
Yeah, he's a suit and tie type motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Corporate car. So
it's a corporate car.
So we name it Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs gets driven every once in a while, but it pretty much is just sitting.
Yes.
Because we have all these other projects going.
Yeah.
But
still, man, we fire that bitch up every once in a while, take it to the store, do whatever.
Yeah, jump railroad tracks. You could jump a railroad track.
You drove an hour to the track one night.
Yeah, I drove it to the track.
So, just floating down the highway, this car Uncle Buck's in the back real bad.
Uncle Buck.
Hey, a set of shocks could do that thing some good, but why?
When are you going to stop?
Yeah.
So, we like driving it and shit, but it was just mainly sitting, and I like driving it because nobody knew who I was in it. I could sneak in and out of places, nobody knew who I was.
Well, you can't see through the windows.
Right.
So.
And, I could sneak over to 29th Street and get some street tacos at 2 in the morning, and I fit, right in. Smooth, look normal. You know what I mean? You pull over there in Wanda or a Cadillac or whatever, things get weird. So, they ain't nobody going to rob me in that thing. They know I ain't got nothing.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
So, it's perfect.
Maybe some weed.
Yeah. You show the fuck right. So, that's why I go over there.
so that's the stop before the tacos.
That's why you gotta have tacos. Yeah. So the car's just sitting around, and our good friend Travis Quillen, he works on your cars, works on my cars. He's a wiring guru, fabrication guru, tuning guru. The dude is—he's
a guru. He's an engineer.
He's an engineer. So he overdoes everything. It's it's beautiful work. It's the right price. He does a good job for us, and we take him all of our stuff. Well, I remember talking to Travis, and he's a Pontiac guy, and so
and that's how y'all actually met.
Yeah, he was a partner.
He's one of the other 20 Pontiac guys in the country. So
and they're all weird like that.
Yeah.
But he was a partner on the Rodney Butler Pro Mod, so that thing was at one time, it still is the fastest Pontiac powered door car in the world in the quarter mile. Mine's the quickest. I had the 8th mile record. He's at the quarter mile record. So
yes.
He's a Pontiac guy, and he was telling me that the thing that got him into cars and the thing that got him into Pontiac hot rods was his mom and even his uncle.
His uncle
had these Grand Prix, these big body Pontiac powered Grand Prix, and that's what got him. And one of them was actually this exact color.
Yeah,
and
his uncle's.
Yeah, and so I was like sitting around one day, and I'm like, man, this car's just going to sit here. It's too fucking cool for what I'm going to do. All I do is jump railroad tracks and hit shit with
donuts
it.
And we're going to tear it up.
I'm going to tear it up.
And then tearing up a car like Steve Jobs.
It's too classy for that. Yeah. And then it's just going to sit there because I ain't going to work on it.
Yeah, because we're not going to fix it.
No, because I'll go buy another project.
Yeah.
So, anyway, long story short, I decide for Christmas, I'm going to give Travis Quillen this car. He ain't had a hot rod in 20 years or more.
Yeah.
His own hot rod. You know what I mean? He's been working on everybody else's. He's been making everybody else fast, making everybody else smarter, making their shit cooler. And he's never been able to do his own thing. So I'm like, man, I'm going to give him this car. You know what I mean? So I tell Travis, hey, man, I want to give you Steve Jobs. And he trips out. He starts getting tears in his eyes. He's like, man, you don't have any idea
Well, he actually called me after you told him that and asked me if he was okay. I mean, you know what you're thinking when somebody starts giving shit away.
Yeah, they finna end it.
Yeah, so he's like, "Hey, is Chief okay?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Well, he wants to give me that Grand Prix." And I was like, "I know, it's fucking cool, huh?" And he's like just so over the top on this deal that
I didn't know he was going to be that pumped on it. Like, I figured he'd be like, "I really don't want that much work."
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna bring me this fucking pile.
Yeah, like,
and
okay,
you think it's a treat?
It's now, like, okay,
you gave me a job. Is what you gave me.
That's what I call Steve Jobs. I thought he was gonna be like, "Okay, thanks. Now I get to throw this away." You know what I mean? Like, I figured that, but he wasn't. He was stoked on this car
for sure.
So me and Shawn decide we got a week off or whatever. We're going to deliver him the car. You was going down there to work on your car.
Brings us to the greatest road trip that we've possibly have ever had.
No doubt about it.
And we'll go ahead and put a disclaimer up that in Alabama, it is going to seem like we are racist.
To the tens of listeners, the rest of this story gets weird. There's no telling who we're going to make fun of. There's no telling what we're going to say that's going to offend you. Yes. So I just going to warn. Before we do all the offending, I want to talk about something dear to my heart.
Yes.
Blue Apron. It's a food delivery service.
Where do they deliver it to?
Front or back door, really.
Yeah.
They'll deliver it to you. They deliver it to your house, your office, wherever. I mean,
wherever you like it.
They deliver it right where you like it. They deliver pre-portioned meals, the ingredients, the instructions on how to cook it, how to eat it, the whole deal.
Yep.
This place has some amazing food. The quality is out of control. The seafood is sourced under standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. We all know that's legit. Mm-hmm. The beef is raised humanely. Chickens are free-ranging, and the pork is natural.
It is natural tasting.
And it can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S. and 99.5% of food deserts.
Yeah?
Yeah, deserts.
Deserts?
If it was dessert, it would have two S's, right? Only one S can grow in the desert. So it's deserts, food deserts.
Yep, food deserts.
So if you live in a food desert, 99.95% of you guys can get food from these people.
That's right. That's right.
I've never even been to a food desert. I don't know what it is, but it's on the fucking list, Phantom. I'm just telling you that Blue Apron can deliver to 99.5% of food deserts. If that's where you're at, as long as you're not in that real rare 0.5%, they can deliver to you. And I bet they can deliver to your buddy or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean, you go by, deliver it to the trap house, you go by, pick it up.
Yep. I mean, it builds strong family bonds when you cook together, you know? Research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often.
Man,
think about that.
For real? Did you research it?
Yeah.
Are these yours? Statistics?
These are my notes. I didn't do the spelling on them, but these are definitely my notes.
Yeah. You know, some of the stuff that's available in January is the spicy shrimp and Korean rice cakes with cabbage and
fur cake.
Fur cake.
I don't even know what fur cake
Fur
is.
cake.
What is that?
I don't know.
Phantom, help us out.
I like cake.
I mean,
I feel like this isn't something I eat. You can get pork chops and garlic piccata with scallion rice and spinach. Mushroom and chipotle pepper enchiladas with lime sour cream. Check out this week's menu. Get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Chief and Shawn. That's CHIEF for you dumb motherfuckers who don't habla. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. Don't wait.
That's blueapron.com/Chief and Shawn, not Chief and Shawn.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Okay, now I got.
Is Japanese seasoning.
It's Japanese furikake is Japanese seasoning. It's not even cake. Japanese seasoning. So now that I got that off my chest,
it's not even cake.
No.
Man, fuck.
That's been bugging me. I really wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So now we can go back to the best epic road trip ever, and I mean it started when we left, right?
Yes.
I mean you can still grab one of your buddies. Road trip halfway across the country and have an amazing time.
Yes. Oh God.
I mean, we can start with
fixing to get bad.
We can start with before the road trip even started, when you told me that you was going to ride with me, and I thought, God, because there's one thing that is really the same about me and you, and that is we don't ride with other people.
No, we don't. No, we got to drive. That's how we get down.
We're not good riders. We're not good passengers.
I got to drive. That's how I get down.
Me too.
That's how I get down.
And I have to have my vehicle.
Well, because
what if I get with you and fuck you, and I want to go somewhere?
Well, what if you say something pisses me off? I want to get out and get my own shit. I don't have my shit there.
Yes.
So then what? I just got to be like, I'm fucking mad at you, but I'm going to ride with you for the rest of this trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's not me. No. I'm the guy who does a J-turn, peels out, flips you off, and takes off.
Yes.
And then
rolls out. And if somebody came with you, then they should have got in with you.
Or they're going with somebody else.
Lost.
Yeah.
Left.
I mean, no doubt. So Shawn says he's going down to Travis Coolins to work on his car. And I'm like, hey, you should take Steve Jobs. He's like, yeah, I could take the trailer, put Steve Jobs in the trailer, and then leave the trailer there. That way, when I come back to get the car in a couple weeks or whatever, trailer's already there.
Yes.
So I was like, hell yeah, cool. So I'm going to follow him down there.
Yeah, that was the plan.
That was the plan. So Monday rolls around. Shawn's like, he texted me the night before. He says, I'm leaving tomorrow about 10, whatever. I was like, cool. And then I'm like, so who's riding with you? And he said, nobody. And so I sat there for a minute, and I was like, man, he just by himself.
Yeah, like, just me.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, man, I'll ride with him. Because after the tattoo, or after the car giveaway, I was going to go to Chicago and get a tattoo. I had a tattoo appointment with the homely Adrian Morales up there at Boulevard Tattoos. So I was like, or Tattoo Boulevard or whatever. So I was like, hey, after this, when I get bored, I'll just catch a ride to the airport and I'll catch a flight to Chicago and get some ink done. And then that way I don't have a truck there, right? So I'll just ride with Shawn. So I sent him a text, hey man, I'll just ride with you. And then it starts coming over me. I start freaking out because I'm
too.
I start looking at the map and I'm like, oh my God, this is 12 hours. I've never ridden with anybody 12 hours. Like, I think the furthest I've ever ridden with anyone is Tulsa. And dude, that was crazy. That was like, I had anxiety like a motherfucker. And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking ride. So I'm like, I'm going to ride with Shawn 12 fucking hours. Well, hey, if I'm going to ride with somebody that long, it might as well be Shawn. He's the only motherfucker that, I ain't fucking burnt off since we got together. Anyway, he ain't burnt me off, so why not?
Yeah.
Well, then Shawn says he's taking his dually.
So right away, I know I'm going to have to listen to bitching the whole fucking trip.
Well, because Shawn's taking this dually.
Because that's what Chief does. Whenever you ride, he bitches about how you drive. He bitches about how big of a piece of shit your truck is. He bitches about where the door handles on your fucking, on your base model Chevy trucks are. And he's just a bitcher. He's a bitcher and a complainer. And we're too much alike. I like to do what I want to do, and if I want to pull over and stop somewhere, I'm gonna pull over and stop somewhere. And he's the same way. But we don't always like to pull over and stop at the same spot.
No, we have different reasons for wanting to pull over and stop. You know what I mean? So like, it's just, and so I'm just sitting at home like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I agreed to here? And so then I start thinking, I'm like, hey, look, it's not about us. This is about Travis. This is about getting Steve Jobs home.
Yes.
It's Travis is Steve Jobs home. So it's about getting Steve Jobs home. So now it's become like a mission for us to do this for Steve Jobs and Travis collectively. Like, this is our mission. We're going to take Steve Jobs home.
Yeah.
This is, we just found an ugly puppy a new home. You know what I mean? Like, so this is like our good deed for the week or whatever, or year or whatever.
Yeah.
Decade.
At least quarter.
Yeah. So the next day, I didn't really sleep because I'm freaking out about this road trip.
So I go to Walmart the day before, and you know me, man, I'm steady movies. Every time I get in that truck, I watch movies just nonstop.
Yeah.
Passes the time way fast.
Passes everything.
So I know that shit's out the fucking window.
Yeah, once you don't watch the road.
Well, I don't. How many wrecks have I been in?
Well, I don't know. I don't ride with you.
But none, though.
I know.
I do run off the road every once in a while.
Yeah. I'm not saying you crash.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I crash. I just don't hit anything.
It's dangerous.
No, it is dangerous.
Because Shawn really gets into these movies.
Well, yeah, it passes the time. It make a 9-hour trip, go way faster.
Got like a 10-inch screen in this truck.
Yes.
So it's like being in a theater.
But it sounds like shit, though.
Yeah, because he's got all the stereo system in there and don't know how to tune it. So it sounds like you're listening to a cell phone. You know what I mean? But it's just really loud. It's just a really loud fucking
Plus all the wind noise don't help.
Yeah. And, it's fucking wind noise. And then there's shit underneath the deal rattling against the floorboard. And, like, the sunroof's open because this dually has a sunroof, because you got to see the sun sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a lot to think about. Okay. So I get to the shop. And I'm like, oh my God. He shows up. Kentucky had loaded Steve Jobs into your trailer. This is the biggest biggest car ever. It's touching all sides of the trailer.
Yeah. So I'm worried about it just, I don't even know why we didn't pull the open. But
dude, I was thinking that Steve Jobs was just going to wreck the whole inside of your trailer.
I did too.
And I figured it'd take a toll on that dually.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, hey.
I thought, if the dually breaks down, we can drive Steve Jobs.
That's the only reason why I really wasn't that fucking worried about it. Because I'm like, the dually's going to break down.
Yeah,
as
or
soon
if
as
you
we
get too pissed off,
that's what I'm saying.
You just unhook that motherfucker
Boom.
And roll.
So that was my whole theory was, all right, if I get pissed off at Shawn, I'm just going to dump Steve Jobs off like Knight Rider and I'm going to hit the highway.
Yeah.
If the when the dually breaks down shortly out of Shawnee, I'm going to get in Steve Jobs and drive off.
I figured we'd make it a good hour.
Well, that was the plan. So we get in the truck. And I'm like, oh, man, here we go. Here we go. Just me and Shawn in this dually and Steve Jobs for 12 hours.
No movies.
And it's stacked full of movies that we can't watch because
Chief don't movie.
Because Chief don't move. Not when I'm with somebody else. I like to listen to music or talk or...
He trap music's out.
I like to bitch. I like to bitch
He does like to bitch.
About everything. So we hit the highway and I'm like... You're going to hate me, bro, because I'm going to be taking all the selfies. We're going to have this is going to be best friend weekend. This is best friend road trip right here.
Yeah.
Like, we need this. Me and Shawn, we do different shit. So the only time we ever get to bond is on racing. You know what I mean? And hey, we're supposed to be best friends here. We need to bond. So we're going to fucking bond, goddammit.
Yeah, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, whether we like it. Yeah,
we're going to fucking do it.
Whether Shawn likes it or not, I'm taking selfies and shit, And we're going to talk about shit that, best friend stuff.
Yeah.
So we hit the highway. And we make it to, I don't know, Sallisaw?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Sallisaw, Oklahoma, a couple hours out.
That's good, 2-3 hours out.
Yeah. And we pull over on the side of the road.
Yeah, but before that, there's not much bitching going on.
No, we started to have a good time.
You didn't say nothing. You didn't bitch about nothing.
No.
I mean, I guess since I wasn't watching movies, I didn't run off the road.
Well,
hey, about an hour into it, you did say, "Look, I can't do this anymore," and you started tuning the stereo.
Well, because it sounded so bad.
No, it did. It sounded horrible.
Bad. And though also, I think it helped that as soon as I got in, I took a Percocet. You know what I mean? That kind of calmed me down.
That may
it just kind of like smoothed me out a little bit. It took my anxiety away. So we get to like, and you're paying attention to the dually.
I because I'm worried about
every little noise you hear, little, this thing is it's a high mileage.
A lot of miles.
It's a high mileage old girl.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's got a lot of miles.
So we get to like Sallisaw somewhere, and we don't know how much fuel is in the tank because it doesn't really work right, and so we're gauging it. We're just guessing, Well,
I had just bent the deal, so
we're like, all right, we're making it further than what our bladders are.
Yes.
So we decided we're just going to pull over on the side of the road, take a piss. We pull over on the side, we get out of the truck, and the weirdest fucking thing ever. Like, the trailer, the enclosed trailer behind the truck is leaking fuel.
Well, we start smelling something while we're pissing.
Yeah.
And yeah, just
we were back to back.
Yellowest,
we were pissing back to back,
nastiest,
just to let you know.
Just dripping out of every spot of the trailer that it could possibly come out of.
Yeah, the trailer has sprung a fuel leak.
Bad.
And
like it had to have been at least 50 gallons.
Which is strange because there is no fuel tank on the trailer.
No.
The trailer does not have a capacity for fuel.
I have never put fuel in the trailer.
So where is it leaking?
From everywhere. from fucking everywhere. It was coming out like we're literally pulling a bomb down the highway.
So we open the trailer door, and lo and behold, Steve Jobs has dropped all of its precious fuel cargo.
Pissing everywhere.
The fuselage has been punctured.
Yes.
Kentucky, when he laid up underneath the Steve Jobs to strap it, was having an off moment.
Something happened.
And strapped the car by the fuel tank.
And
I will agree, underneath there, it all looks the same because it's all the same shade of brown and rust. But still, this thing, a ratchet strap goes through the fucking fuel tank, and it dumped 50 gallons of Weimar convenience store, its finest high test, all over that.
There's fucking high tests just everywhere underneath it.
So now we don't know what to do because we can't stop it from leaking.
Well, I don't understand with a hole being as big as what it was, how it was still leaking.
Right. And it was leaking good.
It should have all came out within 30 seconds. I don't care how much fuel was in it. Every bit of it should have been out in 30 seconds with how big the hole was.
And so we're like, man, we don't have any, there's no way to drain it. There's no way to fix it. There's no way to do anything.
We can't back it out because then we can't push this 4,800-pound thing back in the trailer.
We thought about pushing it out of the trailer, backing out of the trailer, and then trying to fix it or let it leak. But then there's no way to get it back in because they ain't got no fuel. We couldn't push it in there, we can't drive it with no fuel. So we're in a hell of a spot here. We're in a tight spot. So we decide the best thing to do here is to press on.
Yeah, just don't worry about it, man. Turn the radio up a little bit because by this time you had tuned it to sounding pretty good.
It was sounding decent.
It was.
We weren't in bad shape.
So we get in the truck and we continue on our journey.
But we make the deal. Okay, so we're going to try not to scrape the ground with the dually because that is frequent. Because we're thinking at this point we're pulling a fucking 15,000-pound nuclear warhead back there
and smoking.
And at any sign of spark or fire, this thing's going to go up like a fucking inferno.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that the Salisaw Volunteer Fire Department has a belly dump C-130 airplane to just put us out.
Yes.
And that's the only thing we could put us out.
No.
Once Steve Jobs goes, this thing's going.
Well, we actually had a plan to where if it did go, we pull over. And then you had your jobs. We start unhooking the trailer, and we at least get the dually out of there.
Right, which I didn't know that was that great of an idea. We just let it go. The dually was iffy anyway. You know what I mean? Like just claim the whole deal on insurance. Fuck it.
Yeah, what insurance?
Oh yeah, right. So
not Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs ain't got no insurance. So
I'd have had to sue you.
Yeah, well,
I would have said, "Look, I was hauling this down here for him." And his cargo had sprung a leak.
We just sued
and
Travis.
Burnt everything down that I had.
We'd have both sued Travis Quillen. We were contracted to deliver this car.
Yes.
So we just decide from now on, we're going to try and flick our cigarettes and cigars as far as we can away from the rig.
Yes.
And just let it pour.
Yeah.
And we did.
And then, raise the dually up a little bit to where it wouldn't,
Yeah, not so much that it looks bounce.
Bad. Yeah, not so much. Not as high as it'll go to where it would ride rough.
We don't want it to look bad or ride rough. So we're just going to raise it up where it won't scrape so much.
Yeah, on bridges and shit.
Yeah, because Oklahoma roads.
Yes.
So we get to the Arkansas border, and it's pretty well done leaking.
I feel like it is.
We made it. Mm-hmm. We did okay. Mm-hmm. Now, though, we have the problem of there's fuel in the trailer.
And fumes just
everywhere.
Horrible.
So we decided we're going to stop at a truck wash. And we're going to have the truck washed.
Yeah, and we see a big-ass fucking sign that says
big sign
truck wash. And we're like, hell yeah.
24
we
hours.
are in luck.
24
this
hours.
is a 24-hour place. It don't even matter what time we show up.
No. Oh, God. We pull over in somewhere in Banjo Villa, Arkansas, and you have to take a mud, dirt, oil-filled road to get to the car wash.
Yes, that we bottomed out way more than we did on any of the Oklahoma roads.
So just in case your truck's not dirty enough, you're going to get it real dirty before they wash it.
And plus, it's wet.
Yes.
So it was a muddy rock gravel pit.
Right.
So
we get to the car wash, we pull in. And here lies
one of the best looking crews I've ever seen in my life.
Full of missing links. The people in this car wash were the missing links to, it was like staring down Bigfoot's children in the face. Like Bigfoot and Donnie on the hill got it on and they had a baby.
Yeah.
And those guys opened a car wash. and there's no drain or nothing. So the car wash is just running out.
Spray it all out. It just runs all out.
It's like, it would be like if you opened a car wash in your driveway with a power washer and a carport. That's what this place was. And
it would be a dream come true for the EPA to show up.
And 4 of your uncle fathers. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So we get out of the truck, and I'm already laughing. As soon as we pull in, I'm laughing at this crew, these guys. Yeah. Right? They're ready. Yeah. They ain't seen a truck in years. This deal here is going to pay the rent.
You could tell they had been cleaning up around there because there was nothing else going on.
Yeah, they was taking clocks apart and radios and electronics and shit. Yeah, these guys, they were on it. They were on it for sure. And one of them, I'm pretty sure, if you do find his teeth, it will be where his butt is, because he didn't have no butt. His pants were literally held on to
him, whole butt hanging out.
Him. Him whole butt hanging out.
Him whole butt was hanging out.
Him probably think him hair covers it.
Him hair come close to covering it. So he's got the sweetest mullet I've ever seen.
Well, he's rocking the sagging pants and the 95 Jordans, you know, and he's got the Echo or whatever shirt on, you know, the trunk fit shirt and shit, and then got a camouflage hat because he wants you to know he's hood.
He's hood,
but he still like the hunt and shit. Don't fucking get it twisted.
he's hood, but he still have guns and shit.
Yeah, no, he listened to Flo Rida and shit, but he's still a George Strait kind of motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so we get out, and I'm already laughing. I can't take it. You know, I can't contain myself. I got fucking problems. Yeah. And Shawn this motherfucker don't miss a beat. These guys are standing there looking at him. I mean, they got the 1,000-yard stare too. What's up, boss? Like, you know. And Shawn says, "Yeah, give us the works. Do the whole rig, truck, trailer, everything. Hand mitt this man. He wants it hand." Shawn says he wants it hand mitt. He wants them to mitt this motherfucker by hand. And then he says, "Oh yeah." And they're looking at him like, okay, we're going to hand mitt. Okay. And he says, "Oh yeah, we got a little problem in the trailer. We need that washed out too. I'm sure it's nothing a crew like you motherfuckers can't handle." And I lost it. I mean, I'm laughing in their face at this one. I had to run out of the truck wash establishment into the drainage ditch where they drain the water.
It was soupy and muddy.
And dead.
Yes.
It was real dead.
It was. Something was dead.
Bear Grylls wouldn't drink that shit. No. I don't care if you boiled it. Bear Grylls, that motherfucker drink his own piss. And he wouldn't drink the shit over there. No. He'd die right there. Yep. Okay, so they're washing this truck. And, man, hey, I give it to them.
They did a good job.
You know, they're good at that.
Yeah. And they mitt the shit out of it.
They mitted it.
Yeah. They look good, everything.
They wasn't messing around.
No, not at that point. I mean, hey, we pulled in. We told them what the deal was. The leader of that fine looking crew got the guys together.
And the one who was standing up. The biped. The one who's walking on feet. Using thumbs and shit.
And next thing I know, 6 of them come from nowhere. And then every one of them got mitts and shit. And there's
because soon
water
pulled in
there stretched all around this place.
Yeah, from next door.
And they're like suspended from the roof everywhere, and they're pulling them around on I don't know what they were. Looked like I don't know what it was. But it looked like water hoses, and there's just leaks everywhere.
I guarantee you, the sign out front, they just flip it around. It says volunteer fire department. Yep. Like, that's what this place. These guys were watertight cats.
They could do it all.
They knew how to get that water on the truck.
Yeah.
And in the truck, and they sprayed they got your computers clean.
They did.
All the electronics underneath the hood.
The dually does not have fender wells.
And I'm watching this motherfucker. Him pants falling off his butt, and him got a power washer up in the fender trying to clean the fender well, and there ain't no fender well.
There's no fender well, and all he was doing was cleaning the top of the hood. The side of the And I remember we had talked about it, and we were like, he goes over and starts spraying the other side, he's going to get the cleaner. And when we start it, it's going to suck up a lot of water.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, man, the computers are going to be clean. The body control modules are clean. Yes. Transmission control modules, all the wiring, all the wiring, be clean.
Wiring, computers.
These guys they were all inclusive deal.
The turbo,
engine
cleaner.
I was talking to Mullet number 3 or whatever, and I'm talking to him, and him says, "What happened in the trailer?" And I said, man, we had a fuel leak." And he said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Man, we thought it was going to catch on fire." He goes, "Our truck caught on fire here just a couple weeks ago." And I want to be like, "There was a truck here a couple weeks ago?" Yeah. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Right out there in the parking lot." And he said, they start calling in from the highway, calling the number on our sign from the highway, telling us the truck's on fire. And I said, "Damn, what'd you do?" He said, "Well, I told him." "What do you want me to do about it?"
If it was in the parking lot, we might get it.
He said, "If it was in the bay, we'd put some water on it." And I was like, "Hell yeah, you would. You'd put some water on that motherfucker, wouldn't you?" Yeah. Hell yeah. Put it right out.
That's what they do.
That's what they fucks with water.
Yep.
So they get it all cleaned up, shined up, closed the door on it. We're good.
It's a good price too.
It was
like $50.
It was. I don't know how you can get a hand mitt.
If you're in that area, 6 dudes hand mitt that deal, $50.
Yeah. Yep. 50. That's not a bad price, guys.
It's not. It's
Think about that.
I mean, they don't have a lot of overhead though. You know, I don't think there's any electricity or anything.
And I don't think they were paying for their water anyway.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
It's just a building.
Yeah, the neighbors were paying for it.
It's just a building, a drive-through building with 2 doors,
like my cable.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So, if you're in the area, stop over at the 24-hour truck wash.
It just said truck wash.
Yeah, it was straight and to the point. They didn't need no fancy marketing.
No. They said, "We're going to open this place up and we're going to call it the truck wash."
And we're going to stand out front and all together and just let our hair blow in the wind.
Yeah, in the straight through building.
Yeah,
like a wind tunnel.
And then we're gonna go to Burlington Coat Factory and get all our fucking Echo elephant trunk fit clothes. So we leave the truck wash, and I'm having a great time at this point.
Man.
But we've lost our backup. We lost Steve Jobs.
Yes.
He's out of the running.
Yeah.
If the dually breaks down at this point, we're hitchhiking.
We're just fucked.
Yeah, we're fucked, all right. So we're back on the road, and we hit the biggest hurricane, hailstorm, wave of rain.
Yes.
That, I mean, Forrest Gump couldn't have talked about this shit.
And this was after they had just mitted the dually.
They just hand mit this thing.
Yeah. Wheels look good.
$50.
$50 for them to clean that. And 10 miles down the road, we hit a monsoon. It was sideways rain.
It was rain from sometime. The rain was coming from underneath.
Yeah, it was. It was all kinds of rain.
And I don't ride with people. God damn it.
Yeah.
So I am white knuckled in there.
And it's hard to see the road.
Yeah.
So, and then there's that whole defrost deal. Remember, we didn't want to turn the defrost
That's what I said.
on.
I was like, dude, we're gonna have to defrost this thing. He's like, yeah, I don't want to try that. I said, what do you mean you don't want to try that? He goes, well, we got this weird little glitch. I'm like, what are you talking about?
We had a glitch.
He said, when you turn the AC or the defrost on, the truck dies. And I was like, oh, let's not try it then. Let's just not breathe.
Yeah, we just went ahead and cracked the windows a little bit.
Yeah, and the sunroof. We could crack. That was the cool thing about the sunroof. You can crack the sunroof. So we're on the road, and we're like, man, I just don't know if we're gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on. So I said, hey, we're gonna need a break. So when we get to Memphis, let's call up JJ the boss, our homie down in Memphis, and let's go to dinner.
Which is always a good time.
You know, JJ is a solid dude.
Yeah.
And so we hit up JJ. He says, yeah, when you get to town, hit me up. I'll let you know where to go. I said, all right, cool. I said, try and pick someplace low key.
Yeah.
You know, that we can get in the back, get a good meal, steak or something, and nobody's going to fuck with us. He says, yeah, I got you. Yeah, he did. So we get to Memphis, we hit him up, and he says, take this exit and then go to this Greyhound racetrack where they race dogs.
Yeah.
Because JJ, he's a gambling man.
He is. He is.
So now we're in West Memphis. Fam says, I feel like I'm a preacher in church now.
Yeah.
Like, speak on it. Speak on it.
Show you right.
You ain't never lie. We're in West Memphis in the hood. We got this dually and a 74 Grand Prix in the trailer. Uh-huh. We're now in the racetrack where they race these Greyhound dogs, and it also has a casino.
Yeah.
On board. We go in. Precious meets us out. Takes us to where JJ is. He's playing blackjack.
Yep. Sort of blackjack.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a different kind. We weren't really sure. It was.
There's a dealer.
There's a dealer.
But they had like iPads.
Yeah.
No chips.
I feel like it could be faulty.
Yeah, I don't get that whole deal.
But this place was huge.
When I blackjack, I want to see the cards.
Yeah.
And I want chips.
Yeah, and salsa.
Yeah. And possibly drinks.
Yeah, I don't really blackjack, but I would have watched him. But so we go to the nice restaurant inside of the racetrack.
Yes,
dogs.
It's basically Golden Corral is what it is.
If Golden Corral had a rough year.
Yes. But the only thing that it was missing was the chocolate fountain.
Yeah,
and it could have had that. I never made it over to the dessert.
No, I don't think it did. And it was one of those buffets where every once in a while I like a buffet. I'm all right with a buffet, but when you have to ask, what is this? What is this? Yeah. What is that?
On all the items.
What is that? On all the items in there, it was a little iffy. And there were things growing on the cups. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, looked like it was frozen.
Frozen in time. Yeah. We get done there, and we're now rejuvenated.
Yeah,
we're probably
time for a nap.
We probably got food poisoning.
Yeah, but
we are rejuvenated, and because JJ's a good time, we laughed the whole fucking time with JJ.
Sure.
He's a riot. Sure. We had a great time. We always have a good time with JJ, and we leave Memphis, and we still have another
3 hours,
3 or 4 hour drive, and we're wore out. We're tired.
Yeah.
We're just wore slap out. And JJ could see that we were wore out. And he says, I got something to help you with that. And so I was like, okay, thanks, man. That's thank you for that. Thank you. So now me and Shawn are no longer tired. We're no longer wore out.
We were rejuvenated.
We were rejuvenated. We were thinking about pushing Steve Jobs the rest of the way.
And then from nowhere, it got hot. And we didn't really need the defroster.
We didn't really need the dually, to be honest with you. And that just goes to prove, though, that JJ's a solid dude.
He is. He's a solid dude.
He wanted to make sure we made the rest of the trip.
Yep.
Well, we did. We did.
We made it.
We were basically down to our boxers in there, just sweating like a slave, running this truck down the road, and we made it.
Yeah.
The dually made it. We made it.
The dually did great.
I mean, we made it to one of the finest $30 a night hotels Athens, Alabama has to offer.
Yes.
We're in Athens, Alabama here.
Yeah, where they really talk like that. That's how they talk.
I thought it was a joke,
but it wasn't a joke.
We're at the place there to get a room, and the lady's talking. And I said, "Is that the way you talk, like for real?" And she said, "Born and raised."
Yeah,
born and raised right here.
But she wasn't the only one that you asked.
No, I asked everybody because I couldn't believe it.
Remember the girl at O'Reilly's?
The girl. Oh, that's man. She was special, dog.
She was special,
dog.
Sure. Something had happened to her. But she said, "Is that no shit? Is that for real the way you talk?" And I was, "Oh God," because she had a jaw problem or something.
Damn, there was an accident.
It was a little to the left, a little bit more than what it probably was.
She had lockjaw, is what it was.
It was something.
Yeah, it was something.
And you had asked her if that's the way she really talked.
I didn't see how special of a case we were working with here.
She was a pretty good-looking girl until she talked.
Well, yeah, because like most of the people down there are just country. They talk real country. This
was something else.
Had a twist to it. You know what I mean?
Something was twisted.
It was like her tongue was too big, you know. So she not only did she have the "I'm from Athens, Alabama," you know what I'm saying? Not only did she have that, but she also had like peanut butter stuck in there. So then it was like it was off.
Yes.
And I look at her and I said, "Is that really the way you talk?" And she said, "Yeah, huh." And then I looked over and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." The whole time I'm going, "Oh God."
So we're going to hell for that, but that's not the only thing.
No,
it gets worse.
No.
We wake up the next morning. Shawn doesn't sleep because he said there's somebody in the room above him practicing for the Million Man March or something.
I don't really know what they had going on, but it seemed like they had, because the normal person got up at, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock, probably if you're at a motel, and you go to work. Well, it was like they took shifts in whatever they were doing upstairs. So when one person was done,
dude couldn't quit
somebody
stomping.
else came in to finish stomping.
This dude couldn't quit his stomping job until somebody else, took over for him.
Right.
The baton.
And it had to have been the asshole who parked his big rig. And there's no trailer on this big rig. So he parks it like a normal car right up to my front door.
And this is the type of hotel where your front door is in the parking spot.
Yes.
Everybody has their own door.
Oh, I could open my door and piss on his truck. Is how close it was. So, and I thought about doing it because he let that rig fire up and he warmed that thing up for a good 45 minutes at my front door.
That poor diesel, though, had some glow plug issues because it was what?
Yeah.
And he's kicking it and shit. And it was just like, Shawn's like, we got to go. Yeah. We got to go. So we go to Travis's. We dump off the most magnificent 74 Grand Prix that he's ever owned.
We push it.
Yeah, we had to push it because it didn't have fucking fuel in it.
No fuel.
Kentucky. So now I'm giving Travis a car that he's got to push around.
Yeah, that doesn't run.
I got to give him something to work on.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do that anyway because he's supposed to be working on your fucking car.
I know.
So we're standing there talking to him. We're like, hey, look, man, you're gonna have to fix the fuel tank in this deal. We called Phantom. Phantom tried to give us one overnight. We couldn't find one. So we're just going to have to make a field adjustment here and fix this one. Sorry. Here it is. Good luck with it.
It really runs good.
I hope it works out.
It's got a hog ass cam and shit in it. But we just had to tell him that.
Yeah, we couldn't show him.
We couldn't even fire it up.
We said, man, it drives real nice. He's like, yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So then we're talking to him and we're going to work on the Nova for a little bit. And then he said, well, tonight I've got my mandate.
Yes. And so we instantly take a seat and sit down because we don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I got to know. In Athens, that might not even be that might even be the words we thought they were. It could have been something else.
It could have been anything.
So I'm like, you're going to have to explain that to us.
Yeah.
He said, well, what we do is, I don't know, it's once a week or once a month
or
whatever.
Every just like our podcast, every Tuesday.
Every
every Tuesday they get together with the boys.
Just like the podcast every Tuesday. So him and some other car guys in that area get together at the Dairy Queen in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour away from where Travis
the Dairy Queen.
At the DQ.
Yep.
And so he tells us this, and we're sitting there, and me and Shawn instantly realized that
it's a car deal.
This is Travis's time to shine. This is Steve Jobs' reason for being here.
Yes.
We have got to make Steve Jobs run so that we can make the mandate.
Yeah.
And Travis can drive his magnificent bastard of a car to the DQ in Huntsville.
Yes. That's an hour away.
That's an hour away. But we didn't want to weld on it and stuff.
No, we wasn't going to pull the tank out.
No, so we go to the parts house there in
where the lockjaw girl was.
God damn it. Oh, and we get
some supplies.
We get some supplies, some Magnum steel.
Magnum steel and
epoxy,
shit.
some steel, some gloves.
We got all kinds of shit.
Popsicle sticks, everything.
Gas can,
yeah. Everything to fix Steve Jobs for the journey to the mandate.
Yes. Because we were so excited about this, and we have, we could have rolled in the dually, dragging the fucking frame and shit.
We could have went to the mandate with it. But the thing was, there are car guys that go to the mandate. Lane Culver, who has a dyno shop in Huntsville, which we're friends with, he helped me on my original Crow back in the day. Chad Henderson, who has a drag radial Monte Carlo.
Okay, look, it's a Grand National for everybody out there, but Chief likes to fuck with him, and
because in the very first day I met that motherfucker, we was at the bar in Indianapolis, and I walk in, and I'm a big fan of this guy's.
Yeah,
he got the coolest G body in the fucking world.
He does for sure.
And he says, oh yeah, man, blah blah blah. And he says, you bring that Cutlass to SG&P, and I'll bust your ass. And you knew it wasn't a fucking Cutlass. Okay, he knew I had a goddamn GTO, but he called it a Cutlass on purpose. So from that day forward, You know, what's the one thing you can piss a Grand National guy off? Call that motherfucker Monte Carlo.
Yep.
See what happens. So now I call, you know, it is what it is. Me and Chad, we cannot get together without laughing.
Oh my God, he is a good fucking time, man.
So and there's the other guy with the yellow vet. All these car guys are going. So we're like, all right, we got to fix Steve Jobs. So I lay up underneath that motherfucker. Now I still got plenty of rejuvenation in me. You know what I mean? I'm still juvenated. I am juven, going at it. So I lay underneath this thing and I take, you know, I make this motherfucker my life's work to fix this.
You did a fine job. Like I've patched a lot and I've used that same stuff that you used. Mine always looked like some watered up bubble gum just filling up the hole. But that was a huge hole.
Normally I would have sat in a chair while somebody else did it.
Yes.
But I was juvenated.
Yeah. Well,
so I didn't even need him to jack it up. I'm going in.
You put in work on that deal, and it looked
flawless.
It looked like you couldn't even see where the hole was.
And so,
it was the same color as the gas tank and everything.
No, it was a beautiful repair. It was a field adjustment that the military would be proud of. So, at that point, we decide that we're gonna let this dry.
Well, because you was going to try to put that other stuff over the top of it.
Yeah. Well, I had some more chemicals to mix together.
Yes.
Because I wasn't done.
No.
So we said, okay, we're going to go take a nap, let this thing dry, and we're going to come back.
Yeah, and then we'll put more chemical on top of it.
Right. We'll fix it again. We'll fix it more.
Yeah.
And we'll get some fuel. So we get the fuel, we go back to Travis's, put the fuel in it, and hey, me and Shawn both agreed, I don't care if it's leaking or not. We're not even going to tell Travis. We're driving. We're driving this motherfucker to the mandate. We're going to pull in and park this thing amongst automotive royalty in Huntsville, Alabama, and we're going to be proud of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll get one of them Corvettes pregnant or something.
Yeah. So I start pouring the fuel in, and we're not even looking to see if it's leaking. And Travis gets underneath it, and we're like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just looking." You know, we're like, "Nah, it's good. Come on out of there."
Yeah,
because we thought Travis was going to be the guy who
says,
the guy. "Guys, it's leaking. Stop. We can't do this."
Travis is that guy. Remember, we went racing with Travis, and one time I had a scuff on my drive shaft, and he's underneath the car, and he goes, "That's it. We're done. Load it up, guys." I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" He said, "Drive shaft's toast. It's cracked. It's got a scuff on it." And I'm like, No. We're racing.
Yeah.
So Travis, we know him as that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, because he doesn't want to fail. He's not going to break down halfway there. We don't care.
And tell them
to us,
we didn't make it.
It's a good time no matter what.
Yes. We'd had a good time if we broke down.
Yeah.
So
we go ahead and let the car down. We're not even going to let Travis look at this motherfucker. Now, as we're doing this and as we went and took a nap, Travis has now gone over this entire car.
Yes.
He is proud.
You took him off of my car.
Yes.
Now he is
on that car.
On his car.
So right next to Steve Jobs is the most beautiful Murder Nova I've ever seen. This fucking car, I'm going to have to say it. Like, it is the baddest back half car I've ever seen in my entire life. This car is fucking unbelievable. I'm standing there in Travis Cullen's garage, and the amount of engineering and quality work and craftsmanship and everything that's gone into this car and thought process. I mean, dude, literally, in my opinion, it is the baddest back half car in the world. It is something to behold. I'm looking at this, I just can't believe it. And then right next to you got Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Which is the baddest 74 Grand Prix in Travis's garage.
Yeah. It is. And we even started talking about it, and we're so pumped up about taking this. We're taking this fucking car. Like, at this point, there is absolutely nothing that can happen that we're not going to fix and take this car.
We're having such a good time trying to make this mandate. We've made big races. We've gone to some of the biggest races in our sports history. We've been to some big races. We've made some big dates. But it doesn't matter.
Collectively, we have some nice shit. Like, yes. We talked about it, and you have the fastest Pontiac.
Yes,
you know, I mean, he did a lot of the work on that car. Travis is part of that car. Okay. And then you have you there who, you know, has the quickest Pontiac door car
Travis
in the world.
was on Hance's team when he was the first drag race car into the sixes. Like,
yes.
Travis has been on some big, Jug Coffin's car. I mean, Travis has done some crazy shit in racing.
Yes.
And
the stuff that guy can fucking fabricate from nothing is
And
off
tune.
the charts.
You can tune. You can do it all.
Yes.
So, like, you've got Travis, and then you got Shawn, who has a Murder Nova, who's gone 420s on a drag radial and 3,300 pounds. We're talking all steel Murder Nova car, beat everybody you can think of on the street. I mean, done big things with this car. And then you have me, who's broken Pontiac records. You know, I've had pro mods, street cars, race cars.
Professional driver.
You know,
you're an NHRA professional driver.
Professional driver here. And all we can think about is this 74 Grand Prix.
Yes. Pulling up while everybody's out there at their little car show mandate.
Queen, the mandate.
Which Jill called that the mandate.
Jill, yeah.
Travis's wife.
We can't even talk about Jill. Strike that from the record. We can't even talk about her. She's super secret. Super secret CIA stuff. I mean, anyway, I don't even remember what we
builds missiles.
Yeah, not rockets. Rockets aren't guided.
They're not guided.
So we get this thing running. Travis finds in the trunk, he finds like a Dillard's or a Tiffany's bag or whatever, like a gift bag.
A nice gift bag.
And it said on it, to Trish from Travis, XOXO.
Yes.
And dude, it's like meant to be.
I didn't really even think about it until Travis started freaking out.
The bag says Travis on it.
Yes.
And
I never really even thought, I never even put two and two together. And then he goes, but look. Yeah. You know, and he pointed at the Travis, and I was like, oh, shit. I didn't think nothing about it. He starts tripping out and is like, I got to hide this. If Jill finds this, you know, and I'm like,
be hell to pay.
But what if you try to hide it and then she finds it? It's even going to be worse.
Yeah.
We could explain it to her.
He's like, no, I don't need you guys explaining anything to her. He's like, you stay the fuck away from her. You fuck it up even worse.
Yeah.
Well, then we're looking.
Because we're those dudes that we'll call your old lady. If there's a problem, if you need to stay out later or something, we could probably call and smooth things over.
Oh, yeah, we're litigating.
I used to do that in high school with my buddies, with their parents. Hey. I used to call them and smooth shit over and be like, it's okay, they're out with me.
I was going to bring them home, but we're hammered. We don't need to be driving.
I just don't feel like it's safe for them to come home.
Yeah, we're just going to stay here at this girl's house. Okay, yes. I'll bring them back in the morning. You know, stuff like that. Things that make
smooth things over.
So then, oh, God. So then he's going through the car and he's finding like everything about the car that I don't give a shit about and never even looked at. You know, and he's like, this fucking car's got roller rockers. I'm like, how the fuck do you even know that? Like,
what did you pull the valve covers off while we was napping?
I haven't even checked the oil. Yeah. And and he's just going, he's fixing wiring on it. He's going crazy about it.
He took my channel off or my vice grips
cleaned
off
out the whole interior
and put a new battery cable on it.
He cleans out the interior. He goes to the glove box. In the glove box is like all the factory manuals, all the factory reading material for the 74 Grand Prix SJ.
I can't believe that Monkey didn't go through all that shit. Monkey's the guy. He'll drill out the locks on the trunk to get into it to see if there's what's in there. You know, I mean, so he's just going through everything on this car, you know, and he already knows more about this car than what we do, and we've had it for 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
So as he's going through the stuff, he finds an envelope in the glove box. And on the envelope, it says, thanks for everything, Travis. And inside's $40, 220s inside there. And we're like, holy shit, this is meant to be. This is Travis's car, you know? So that $40 ended up putting fuel in the gas tank.
Fucking A right, it did.
$40 of the finest high test we could find. And they got 93 at the pump in Athens. 93.
Yeah, $40 came in super handy, which is, it's weird because it wasn't an envelope directed, you know, address to Travis or whatever. Yeah. But so we put the $40 in the gas tank.
High test.
Travis was driving. We hit the road. We're on our way to the mandate.
Yeah.
We're going to make it.
Yeah. I mean,
if Travis doesn't kill us.
The fucking thing fired up. Like, it couldn't have been any better. It didn't. I don't even think the motor turned over one time before that bitch fired up. And the look on Travis's face, grown ass man, been around some of the baddest hot rods in the fucking world. And the look on his face was like he was 6 years old and he just got that Red Ryder BB gun.
And we had the same look.
Yes. Because we were excited because he was excited.
Yeah, we're all high-fiving and going crazy over a 74 Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And that thing is loping.
It fired up, and it was just...
It sounded like that diesel out in front of your hotel room.
Yep.
And so we hit the road. And I don't know if any of our tens of listeners know Travis, but he can't see.
No.
The man's blind.
I gave him every opportunity because.
Oh God, Shawn was so worried about it because we're all going to ride in this thing. All three of us going to ride in this thing to the mandate. And so Shawn's wiping the windshield down. He's trying to get all the gook off of it.
Well, because we're in Alabama and every time we're there, it's fucking raining.
Well, and it looked like the windshield looked like the shit on that lady's window in My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it did. So Travis brings me some Rain-X, and so I'm trying to give him every opportunity that he can have because first off, the headlights suck in that car.
The wipers work.
The wipers work, but the wipers suck.
There ain't no rubber on them.
Yes. So we can't really use the wipers. So you combine Travis's eyesight.
And Travis, when he reads a text message, he puts the phone to his eye.
Yeah.
He uses the retina scan of his eye. I mean, he takes this thing and places it on his eyeball to read a text message.
Yeah.
And those of you that have ever seen him read a text know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So we know he can't see. We know the windshield was filthy as hell.
And he ain't driven a hot rod in a long time.
No. And the headlights, and it's dark. So he's got everything going against him here.
It's dark as Athens, Alabama on Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was.
So we hit the road, and there's only one way to get there, and that's backcountry roads.
Yeah.
Because that's all there is out there is backcountry. And so we're out there in Banjo Villa, and we're in the 74 Grand Prix, and Travis he don't see the turns until they're past us, really.
Yeah, but he drives those roads every day, so luckily he at least knew the roads.
Good. I mean, that thing's body rolling. And
well, because he's taking the turns at 40.
Yeah. Yes.
And I told him, hey, the power steering works like a champ on this thing. He overcorrected every turn that we made.
It works too good. So he'd overcorrect and bring it back. And me and Shawn are just in there looking at each other going, oh my gosh, we're not going to make it to the mandate. Not because the car ain't going to make it, because Travis going to put us in a ditch.
Yeah.
One time, both right tires, and the tires 20-year-old Firestones or whatever, Unipauls.
Yeah.
These things are off the road in the ditch. And Travis I would have corrected in a hurry.
Yeah.
Slung it sideways.
Not him. He goes, let's just bring it back over here a little bit.
I'm looking over at him and looking over at him. I'm like, are you going to, what are we doing here?
He even looked at us a couple of times and goes, now you guys know why I don't drive.
And he said, yeah, let's just bring it back over here a little bit. I was like, good Lord. So we get to Huntsville and we go through the hood. We got to go through the hood to get to the Q.
And we had the baddest fucking car in the hood.
And
everybody was staring.
Yeah,
because they got vision, man. They could see that thing on some 26s.
The people of the hood are artistic. They're creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they know what that thing could look like.
They do it just like this. Man, picture this motherfucker full of hoes.
Peep this.
We're going to catch a gang of catfish in this motherfucker right here.
I got 3,000 cash on me.
He said, we're going to put some bumpity bumps in it. You know what I'm saying? Bling and bling. Put some lights under it.
Yep.
Jacket way up.
Yep.
Sitting like a monster truck. And Travis didn't even notice him.
Yeah.
We're being checked out.
He's both his eyes on the road.
Well, they're on the windshield anyway.
Yep.
I don't know how far past that he can see, but he damn sure can't see to the end of the 8-foot hood.
No.
But the cool thing is you hit something in that thing and you ain't even gonna know it.
Mm-mm.
They ain't even gonna notice.
You didn't even hardly feel the tires drop off the edge.
No, because it's a classy motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's built for class. And we finally get to the Dairy Queen, and everybody's standing out front.
Picture perfect. You couldn't hope for any better than the way that it was.
Here we are. We feel like we got some decently fast shit out there. We got some stuff that makes 3,000 horsepower. You know what I mean? We got some nice stuff. And we are the most proud 3 dummies in a 74 Grand Prix you ever did see.
Yep.
As we pull in there. I mean, our arms are out the windows.
They just stopped and
Yeah. I don't know if they was in awe but they were definitely shocked.
Yeah. I doubt they were in awe. But they were all looking, and
Travis was a proud papa. I mean, he pulled in there.
He backed that rig right into next to that Corvette.
He backed it between the LS1 Trans Am and a Corvette. He rode that fucking wheel 40 times to get it back in that spot, and then put it in park and racked the pipes on them. Just
probably blue rust all over that bed.
The leg pipes were singing, motherfucker.
Yeah, they were.
Everybody in the DQ was looking.
Yeah.
Hey, we get out, swing those 85-pound doors closed, kaboom!
And then pop the hood.
And then we leaned up against it like what?
Yeah.
We was hard parked.
Yeah.
Man, it was so fucking cool, man. It was just one of those moments that was just too cool. You know what I mean? It was really, really cool. And so then everybody's, you know, they don't even care that there's 1,100 horsepower vet sitting next to us.
Yep.
They don't even care that Chad Henderson's in the parking lot with one of the fastest drag radio Monte Carlos on the planet.
Yeah.
All they care about is who are these three dummies in this 74 Grand Prix with a 30-year-old tag, and the tires is just as old, and it's leaking fuel everywhere.
Yeah.
But man, it was just cool.
You couldn't have got any better than the way it turned out.
It went per. We go in there, we eat our DQ, we laugh our fucking
Oh
asses
my God.
off.
Chad had to sit next to us because
once
he starts telling stories.
God damn.
And the funny stories all involve Marie, his wife. And
because the funny stories always involve him making bad decisions and then her shitting on him for it.
Pissed about him.
Yes. And so he's talking about how he blowed the hood off this thing 14 different times and they had the firing order wrong. That's I'm like, hey man, that's why I got my firing order tattooed on my knuckles.
Yeah, maybe he should probably go into that.
You can't fuck that up.
Yep.
And so we get done with the mandate. We white knuckle make it home. It's darker now.
It was. I didn't think it could be. I didn't think it was possible, but it was.
It was. And we make it back to Travis's. Everything's all good. Everybody's cool. He slides Steve Jobs right in the garage there where she belongs. This car,
right next to the Nova.
This car ain't been parked indoors in 20 years, but Travis is gonna keep it inside.
Yep.
We go back to the nice hotel and catch a night of sleep.
Yep.
And the next morning, we feel great. I mean, we're feeling good. And I tell Shawn, I say, hey man, I think I'm going to catch a flight in a little while.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. I said, we should go do breakfast before
we skipped the breakfast from the morning before that they fucked it all up.
Yeah, we didn't feel so hot. You know, we went to
we
the
didn't
BK.
feel very good.
Went to the Burger King. That's the thing. We've been eating road food.
Yeah.
We was wanting something down home, something cooked, something real. So we go to the Cracker Barrel.
Fucking right.
We're going to have us a nice breakfast at the Cracker Barrel.
Right there in Athens, Alabama.
Athens, Alabama Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
I want you guys to know
Yeah,
this.
I want you guys to
have to know where we was at.
Athens, Alabama Cracker Barrel.
Now,
this gets a little iffy here.
we walk into the Cracker Barrel in Athens, Alabama.
It's just a normal day.
And it's a normal day.
No, it's a normal ass day, middle of the day, like the sun's shining and stuff.
We had no idea what was before us.
No.
We had thought we had the greatest road trip ever. We had thought we had laughed our last laugh. It was fixing to be over. I was going to catch a flight.
Yeah.
We was just going to have breakfast. Go say goodbye to Travis. Everything was going to be all good.
Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we was in for.
We had no idea. We sit down. We order our food. Everybody in there is looking at us funny because we're, 20 years younger than everybody in there.
Yeah.
For one thing.
There was a lot of olds in there.
Yeah. And, I've got I got hand tattoos. Shawn's covered in tattoos. We just don't look like the normal 10 o'clock crew at the Athens, Alabama Cracker Barrel on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just a little out of place here. We're looking a little out of place. People are catching our eye. They're telling us, love your show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, y'all do a good show out there, man. We love that show out here in Alabama. Catch me outside.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Well, then
you spotted it. Like
it just out of the corner of my eye, I see a brother, an urban.
He's an urban.
I see a brother, and there's a fire on top of his head.
On top of his afro.
I think he's on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, this guy here is
this person.
This person's on fire. And then I realize he's not on fire. He's just, he's just a brother. And then I realize he's not on fire. 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 And then I realize he That's the color of his hair.
Of his, yeah.
He has a red afro. Now, I don't know if you guys know the importance of this, but this means that we are in the presence of one of the most rarest form of human species there are.
I mean, it's kind of like Bigfoot. You hear people talk about it, but you ain't never seen it. You never seen it.
Never seen one of these.
I mean, this thing is fucking rare.
This is I have seen Bigfoot. I have seen a jackalope. If a Bigfoot and a jackalope had a baby, it still wouldn't be as rare as Jalen.
Yeah.
The guy's name, Jalen.
Yeah.
Which made total sense. Jalon,
yeah.
Jaquan.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't Jason.
No, it wasn't Jay.
And it wasn't, no. So, my mouth is on the floor at this point. I can't even finish my grits and whatever else they sent me from the Cracker Barrel that our little cute waitress Taylor brought out to us.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, look, I'm just like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Sean's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? And I said,
he's like, look.
I said, look, man. I said, look. And Sean looks over and he goes, oh my God. And we just sat there. We couldn't even say a word.
No, not for at least like 5 minutes.
Now,
and
I've seen red bones. You know what I mean? I've seen yellows and red bones. I've seen people dye their hair red. I've seen black people dye their hair red. I've seen I've seen that.
That's not what this was.
That's not what this was.
No.
This was ginger.
Yes. No, and
freckles.
When he turned around, he full blown had
red
eyebrows. Freckles, and he had a red afro.
And he was an African American.
He was a black.
He was a black with red hair, red eyebrow. It was like looking in the face of a possum.
Yeah. I didn't even know they came out in the daytime. I mean, the dude has got to have some sort of special powers.
We thought he was nocturnal.
We thought maybe they were. I heard about you, but we didn't know.
He was a black ginger.
Yes.
And
he snuck up on us.
Well, that was the thing. He walked off and he was laughing about it, and we were just like, "There's no way we're seeing this. We have to be seeing this.
We need to ask somebody else.
We're gonna have to figure this out."
Yes.
And so then all of a sudden, he sneaks right up behind Sean. He was sneaky. He was like a ninja. He was a ginger.
So he was a ninja.
So he was a ninja.
So this ninja comes over to us, and he says, "Hey guys," and I turned around and he scared me, with his sneakiness. And he says, "Are you guys okay? I noticed you guys have been laughing a whole lot over here."
Yeah, because you're staring in the face of a white rabbit right now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what to do. And he was like, I watch you guys on TV, and I was like, "Can we get a picture with you?"
Because you got to understand, everywhere we go, people want our picture.
Yeah.
So everywhere we go, people, and they say the same thing. So they're like, "Hey, can we get a picture?" I hate to bother you.
Yeah.
I hate to bother you while you're eating.
Yeah.
I hate to bother you while you're working. Can we get a picture?
You don't hate too bad enough not to do it.
Well, then they say things like, "Man, you're just a normal dude. Yeah. You're just out here hanging out at the Cracker Barrel like a normal person."
Yeah, and that's what he was doing.
All of a sudden, we're in their shoes.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Hey, man, we hate to bug you while you're working."
So
my friends ain't going to believe this.
No.
My friends are not going to believe that I've met you.
Nobody's going to believe we saw you.
We're going
out in the daytime like a normal person.
And it sucks because he's good at sports and shit, but he can't play in the daytime because of the sun. You know what I mean? It's all fucked up. You know this ninja can play. He can hoop, but he's got to play indoors. You know what I mean?
So we literally, we're still over here. We can't believe it, and we're like, hey, we just laugh. This is what we do, man. We laugh all the time, So he walks off.
Then the waitress comes.
The waitress comes over. We just got to get another opinion.
And she's like, "What are you laughing at?" Because we're in tears. We cannot control ourselves. Because Sean's one asked to do what his superpowers are.
Yeah.
Because Sean's like, at night he's a superhero or something. Like, he's out here bullshitting people working at the Cracker Barrel. We know this ain't what you do, mother. This is a front.
Yeah.
At night, you're Red Man or whatever.
Yeah. I still wonder what his superpower is, but we had to get a second opinion, a third opinion on this deal.
Yeah, so we asked. So we're like laughing.
Taylor.
And I was like, no, I'm not. You were like, she said, go ahead, Chief, ask her what you want. I said, no, I'm not asking. I'm not. And I'm laughing. She's like, come on, y'all, just tell me what's on your mind. You know, because she's country as a motherfucker.
Yes.
And so Shawn says, tell her, Chief, tell her what are you laughing about. And I'm like, ma'am, I am the furthest thing from a
that
racist.
guy over
I'm
there?
not a racist. No. I'm not a racist. I said, but you see the gentleman that's serving in that area of the establishment over there? And she said, yeah, that's Jalen or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, does
he look different to you?
Am I seeing? And she goes, no, he is. He is exactly.
He's redheaded.
Yeah. And she's like, and I'm like, that is so rare. And she goes, yeah, I've never seen one before either. And,
yep.
And so we're like,
and when she said, I've never seen one before either, then I felt like it wasn't as bad what we were doing.
Well, no, look, man, it's not because of a race. You know what I mean?
No.
I would do the same thing
to an albino.
To anything rare.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just if I see a 57 Nomad, I'm gonna stare and try and get a picture of it.
Yep.
You know, because it's a rare motherfucker.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like Jalen.
Yes.
Hims is rare.
Hims is rare. Hims is a rare breed. So we start talking about, and
he's got a job.
I wonder. So we start wondering how this happened. How do you become?
Well, yeah, this has to be
a black ginger.
This is a club that not many people are part
of.
So what kind of a DNA mix-up has to happen for this? Because he has all of the features, right?
Yes.
But he has the freckles and the bright red hair. You know what I mean? And like we're not talking.
But it is still an afro.
Well,
it is still.
That's what I'm saying. It's
red.
Yes.
So we start wondering. I wonder if he carries a phone that has a picture of his parents in it.
Well,
because I would like to see what they look like.
While we were taking the picture with this rarity, Shawn asks.
Well, let's get to how we got the picture with him. So, our waitress comes back over and she's like, "Hey, there's some people here who want to take a picture with you guys." And we was like, "Fucking right," because we want to take a picture with him.
We need some pictures.
I asked this waitress, "Can you iPhone?" And she's like, "Well, yeah,
I can iPhone."
So
we've never done this. When we take pictures with fans, we have never taken them with our own phones.
No. So I told her, "Look, whenever we take a picture with him, I'm going to need you to take my phone and get a picture on my phone."
So at this point, we're taking pictures with him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is turned into we are fans of his.
Yes.
And we don't want to give the impression that we're being rude.
No, it's just like you said,
this
rare.
Is extremely rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably never going to happen to us again.
Never.
We've been all over the country, and this is the first one we've ever seen.
No doubt. I've seen some that look close, but when you get up on them, oh shit, that ain't what I thought it was.
No,
you know what I mean. That ain't what I thought it was.
The legend is true, though.
They are.
They're out there, or he is anyway.
He's definitely out there. But what's fucked up is that we're getting our pictures with all these people, and we're just waiting on him.
Yeah,
we don't really care. We're breezing through these pictures. We probably took 30 pictures waiting on him.
Yeah.
And we're standing in front of the fire at the Cracker Barrel. They have a fireplace there.
Oh, my God.
It was just blazing. It was hotter than Jalen's head. and so we're just burning up, but we don't care. We're not leaving until we get a picture with this rarity.
Yeah.
So by the time he got to where it was picture time, we are now laughing hysterically.
Yes.
And giddy like children.
Because he even said, my parents aren't going to believe this. And so
when
I was like, you got a picture of them?
When he was walking up to take the picture, he goes, man, my parents aren't going to believe this. And Shawn said, mine aren't either. He said, by the way, you got a picture of your parents?
I needed to see.
And then he realized, he goes, oh.
Yeah.
He said, so y'all want your picture with the black ginger, huh? And we was like, yeah. He goes, that's some rare shit. And we're like,
yeah. And I even told him, yeah, you're fucking rare, dude. Our friends aren't going to believe this. Yeah, we got to have a picture.
And he agreed with us. He's like, this is some rare shit. I'm not going to lie to you.
Turns out, whenever he came up to us, to begin with, talking about, you guys sure are laughing a lot, we should have just said, look,
we should have
sit down for a minute.
Just, hey, take a seat, Jay.
Hey, we could know.
Yeah.
We could know a lot more right now about him if we would have just set him down and talked to him.
We would know.
But we didn't want to be rude.
We don't even. We
I mean,
hey, we didn't want to bug him while he's working.
He was working, and we didn't want to seem like we was rude. So.
And I don't know, like, what in nature has to happen for this to become a thing. You know what I mean? But I wanted to see the man's parents.
Yes.
And then he said, neither of my parents have red hair. And so, do you know what that now makes this? This is a wonder of the world that has occurred in nature. This is a natural occurring.
Well, that gene was hiding out somewhere. Yeah, that gene was hiding out somewhere,
and it just popped up.
It just boomed
right on his head.
Boom. So
now it's not like we're making fun of the man's heritage or nothing, because this wasn't conspired. This was not.
No.
This was not something that was made. This is like a waterfall that hit a flat rock long enough to make it look like, President Washington.
Yes.
I mean, it's just natural. And he knew it.
No, he knew. I mean, you can't go through your life being him and not know that that you're rare.
But in Athens, Alabama, especially.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being in Athens, Alabama, and you are the one and only?
Well, and people know too, because remember
that's the thing. That's what's even more fucked up is after we left. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here, but look, we're not the only ones, okay?
No, because
we left the Cracker Barrel and we felt like we had just seen the ninth wonder of the world.
Yes,
you can take Mount Rushmore, Niagara Falls, the great crack in the earth. What is that?
The Grand Canyon.
You take all that shit, wrap it up in a burrito. It still ain't a redheaded black man in Athens, Alabama. Okay.
Yes.
So now we get to Travis's and we're still giddy, and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you two?" And we're like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're not gonna believe it. And he's like, "What? What the fuck's going on?" And I was like, "Travis, we just saw a black ginger." And he goes, "Oh, well, I know where you was."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well," he goes, "Yeah, you was at the Cracker Barrel."
And
I was
he
like,
knew.
"What?" He
goes, "There's only one."
He said, "There's only one of those in Athens, Alabama."
Yeah.
And he's down to Cracker Barrel. And I was like,
"Yeah,
whoa!"
So even locals know. People's knows.
Hims is redheaded.
Hims is rare.
Hims is rare as shit.
And he was fucking cool about it.
Dude, so cool. And I felt like they should charge more for the breakfast there.
I promise you, right
of
fucking now, I will go in there every time I go back to Athens.
If I get anywhere near there, I'm going back in, and I'm going to request to be seated near his
in or near his section.
And so we did get a picture.
We did
of this, and if we're still on the air, we haven't been shut off, and our social media haven't been shut down, and people yelling at us for what we've said on the show.
We did put like some sort of,
we did put a disclaimer at the first
at the first of the show that this was going to seem a little bit racist, but you got to remember where we were at.
It's not racist.
Well, somebody's going to take it that way.
It has nothing to do with his race or where.
No, it
what,
didn't. I know that. You know that. Jalon knows that.
It had to do with. It had to do with things that occurred in nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the dude who has the birthmark on his face that looks like Brazil or whatever.
Piece of pizza.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it. This isn't Gucci Man here who tattooed an ice cream cone on his face.
Yeah.
Like that didn't occur in nature. You know what I mean? No, this happened, and no one knows why. So we were geeked out, dude. And that just topped off our whole trip.
It did.
I mean, that made everything worth it. It made sense now. We were supposed to go there.
Yep.
We were supposed to do this so that we could behold a naturally occurring black ginger.
I mean, we were out, the whole trip getting data. We were working, and we didn't realize that was going to happen.
We had no idea that this was coming, that this was going to be put forth in front of us at the Cracker Barrel in Athens, Alabama on a Wednesday at 10-ish.
With all the other old people.
Yes. Many of the olds. Hey, and then they took care of our breakfast.
They did.
They bought.
I don't know who bought our breakfast, but they said, "Here, give me that ticket."
I don't know, but I would have paid double. For breakfast because of the
rarity.
It was like being in
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Because I promise you, there's somebody out there that is going to listen to this, and they're going to go there just to see.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, hey, is J-Lon working?
I hope we didn't.
But he's cool with it.
Well, no, it wasn't even that he had to be cool with it. It's just he knows.
No, he knows.
You know what I mean? Like he said, that's some rare shit. It is. You don't see a ninja like that every day.
No.
And Shawn's like, man, you're just out here right in the middle of daytime and shit. You know, just out here, just normal guy.
We thought you was nocturnal.
It was like looking at a negative of a picture that hasn't been printed yet. You know? It was if you took a picture of a normal black dude with an afro and you just had the negative.
Yeah,
that's
you wouldn't even know.
That's what he looked like.
Yep.
Whew. Man. It was a
good trip, man.
It was.
It was one of the best road trips I've ever been on.
It will go down in history as one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, you know, just that whole trip in general. It was.
Yeah, it was a good time.
There's only one of those in Athens.
Yep. They all know it. And then it's like, I guess if you live with Bigfoot, then you don't, it's not that big of a deal to you.
You go down to the Kiamichi Mountains in Oklahoma.
Yep.
And you say.
Bigfoot's no big deal.
No. They all know.
Yeah.
They say, you go in there and say, I seen a Bigfoot. I know where you was at.
Yeah.
You was at the bottom of that hill over there beating on the side of that trailer, wasn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, if we have any listeners left, we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yeah. That's about all we got on that deal, you know?
I mean, once you get to there, where do you go?
No.
You know I mean?
That was the highlight. I was glad that was within the last 4 hours of our trip.
Yeah.
Or at least your trip. After that, I just rolled home and watched movies.
We're taking pictures and Shawn's, get your freckled ass over here. We took a picture and it's real.
Yeah.
We have the proof. And then I just reflected for the next 3 days. I'd catch a plane to Chicago, got a tattoo, and I just reflected the whole time on what had happened to us that week and how special it was.
Yep.
Because we could drive to Athens, Alabama every day and it not be that cool.
Yep.
But something happened. And that's why you always jump at the opportunity to take a road trip with your best friend.
It's fucking awesome to realize that at any point, me and you could still jump in a car together, drive wherever we want. It doesn't matter where we drive. I don't care if we drive across Oklahoma City. We could have a good time.
Yes, no doubt about it. That's pals, man. Like I always say, pals.
Well, when people meet us, and this happens a lot, people's like, y'all's just normal guys. No, we're more fucked up than normal people, you know?
Yeah, but we'll be fucked up in front of everybody.
Yes. And
we don't hide it.
Well, and that's part of everybody's. Y'all's lucky. Y'all got y'all show. No, it wasn't luck.
No,
we're special. We're special.
Yeah, we ain't black redheaded special.
Nobody's that special. Nobody is that special.
But it would have been rude to talk about him and then walk out and
not at least talk to him.
So that's what I think the difference is there. If we weren't rude because. We could be conceived as rude, but we weren't rude because we actually talked to the guy back. Like, we're not going to talk shit about your back when we leave. We're going to say it right then and there.
Yes.
And we're all in that way. Hey, he was cool, man. I feel like we made a friend there.
Yep.
A rare friend.
No, I'm gonna talk to him whenever I go back. I mean, I'm going back in a couple of weeks to get the car.
Let me know. I might.
Yeah, you might roll down there with me.
I may have to. Yeah, we may have to take a. We could make some money on this deal. We could take a bus and hey, we're taking you to see them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This is
all right. Single file.
This is the tour. You know.
Yeah.
Give everybody bite-sized Snickers and charge them big money and get a microphone. Yep. Right here on the right is that's where we stopped and got our truck washed hand mitt.
This is where we first had to piss, and we pulled off and noticed that the car was leaking fuel.
And at the end of this journey, though, that's when you get the prize.
Yeah, you do. After that, you get your own ride home.
We're going to feed you 5 eggs and grits, and you're going to see the 9th wonder of the world, baby.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, I think we've done enough.
I think, yeah, This was definitely a long
the
story.
film crew is waiting on us in the shop. They've been waiting on us the whole
They have
time.
been for 3 hours.
We're already filming the next season of Street Outlaws. So anybody that's asking that, yeah, it's happening. We're filming it right now.
Yep.
We ain't going nowhere. Well, not till you hear this podcast anyway.
Yep.
Then we might be shut down. But until then, we'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll be back Tuesday for sure. There's no doubt about it.
The next Tuesday that comes up, right?
Just 7 days from today.
It is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday.
Well,
it makes sense.
Today's fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. See you next Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday.